I want to welcome you to our second Wednesday time of reflection in a series entitled Journey to the Cross during this season of Lent. And today I want to start with a story. It's a story about a rabbi who serves villagers in Russia. And he has a great rapport with the villagers and also with his disciples. His disciples claim that he disappears on Friday, ascends to heaven, and is with God. And so a newcomer to the village is intrigued by this. And he thinks, I'm going to follow him out of my own curiosity. And he does that. He follows him on Friday afternoon and into Friday evening. And he discovers that the rabbi changes clothing. He gets out of his clerical attire and he puts on peasant clothing. He takes an axe, goes into the woods, and cuts firewood, takes it to a single mother who has a very sick child, well beyond the village. And it provides enough warmth for the fireplace for a week until he returns. He then subsequently goes back to the village and changes back into his clerical attire. We come to a passage in John 13 where Jesus has had the room prepared by the disciples. We refer to it as the upper room. And they're gathered there, sharing in the Passover feast together. Just prior to that, Jesus takes a towel, wraps it around himself, and a basin of water, and he begins to wash the feet of the disciples. This is so countercultural for them. They don't understand. In fact, it unnerves Peter. He's uncomfortable with it. And Peter says, Jesus, you will never wash my feet. And Jesus says to him, unless you let me wash your feet, you will not have a part in me. What does that mean? I've wondered what Jesus was trying to communicate. Was he saying, unless, Peter, I wash your feet, and really the sins of your life, through my death and resurrection, you'll have no real relationship with me? Or, Peter, I want to show you what servanthood is. And maybe by Peter watching, it was a lesson in humility. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's both of those things. But as Jesus models this servanthood, he offers a blessing in verse 17 of chapter 13. He says, now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. And so the rabbi returns. He comes out of his peasant clothing back into his clerical clothes, resumes his responsibilities in the village. And the stranger, the newcomer to the village, is listening closely as the disciples say, yes, we've discovered that our rabbi on Fridays ascends to heaven and is with God. And he responds, ascends to heaven, if not higher. I want to ask you a question as we've looked at this passage of Scripture. How do you treat those who you work with or who serve under you? Maybe children, employees, volunteers. Another question for reflection: who can you serve today in the name of Christ? And then finally, are you willing to allow Jesus Christ to serve you through the crucifixion, through his suffering and death? Will you allow him to wash you entirely with his love and mercy? We want to invite you to join us virtually one more Sunday, and then we hope to be in person after that at 11 o'clock here at Christ Church each Sunday. God bless you as you journey to the cross.